Welcome, everybody, to the penultimate part of the Freedom Action Adventure game, Sonic Frontiers. I'm joined by my friend David, and this time we get to talk. Say hello to the people.
Here's the one Monkey before here. We're back again here for Sonic Frontiers.
Yep, we get to do the Towers of Doom, the very, very scary towers that all the live streamers hate. Yes. There was actually one live streamer who said, dude, this was harder than Eggman Land. And at first I thought, nah, you guys are high. I looked back at my stream when I did these towers last year. Was it last year?
Right.
No, it was 2023. It was 2 years ago almost. And yeah, I was doing pretty bad. But the difference is I literally didn't sleep for about 30 hours prior to streaming that. So my issues were expected. But there were some people, the non-Sonic streamers, who were streaming a Sonic game for quite possibly the first time or in a very, very long time, who were complaining. And I just said, y'all are crazy. It's not that bad. Now, I know you got to the first tower, so you didn't actually do the towers, but what's your experience with the towers?
Well, like I said, not have much experience with them. Like, I haven't really done them. I really still need to finish the freaking Final Horizon. I know that.
Yes.
From what I heard, the towers are apparently hell on earth.
Okay, so you're still with the whole they're difficult thing. Okay, that makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
I will like to point out again, why does my microphone keep going into the red? That's not what I want.
A legless tribe with a bit of tail, a four-legged tribe, winged tribe, multi-intelligent, and powerful and gigantic.
Yes, these are the tribes of the ancients, the Kodaijin.
I never heard it. This is new to me.
Wait, really? I'm pretty sure this is the base game.
I never finished Final Horizon and did not get.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they explained the tribe thing in the base game. There's a cutscene somewhere.
I don't remember that at all.
I see. Okay. Very well then. The good news is we no longer need to worry about levels. We don't need to worry about cutscenes. It is just us and the game for the rest of this. And we get to do the Towers of Frontiers, the whole trials that everybody hates. Are these towers moderately difficult? Sure. Are they harder than anything in the 2010s and 2020 era? Yes. But is this the hardest challenge in Sonic? No. It's one of if you're playing on Extreme, but if you're not playing on Extreme, this doesn't even come close to the hardest stuff. The hardest stuff would be Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, Sonic Shuffle, the super hard mode for Sonic Heroes. Stuff like that is infinitely harder than whatever this is here. I mean, from your perspective, you're just watching these little scenes here. What do you think?
What I think about what?
The difficulty based on what the image is here.
Well, what do you mean the images? Are you saying just Eggman and them talking?
Oh, you're behind. Wait, what? You fell behind? We're 6 minutes in.
What? No, I started when you said. I started when you said start. It was 3 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay, let me know what your timestamp is.
3:39.
Okay. I have... Okay.
What just happened?
It turns out that I caught my error. I'm actually at ×2 speed. Okay, we're back. I'm at 4 minutes 6 seconds.
Okay.
Good enough.
4 minutes. Hold on. I'll be there soon.
Okay, that's not an issue whatsoever.
3:45. So.
Okay, close enough. Anyway, I'm at 4 minutes 10 seconds. We're fine.
Hang on. I'll be there.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, perfect. So right now you see Amy talking to Sonic.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you see the Korone Inugami stuff.
Yeah. I should look pretty good on him.
I would like to formally apologize to the people watching this series, mostly because the episode 19 and 20 had so little conversation in them. I combined them into 2 episodes, but for some reason the bitrate compression went to hell, so it looks really amateurish. That's just to let you all know. And in turn, this episode 20, despite it being episode 21 for us recording, that's why the previous episode is titled episode 19.5. Because it was so difficult commentating true or false.
Yeah. Also, careful. Careful. There you go.
Yep. Ugh. It's tragedy. But it's okay. I'm just strategizing. It's fine. Did I miss? Yeah, I did. Doesn't matter. I feel like you wouldn't have thought to do that.
Probably not.
Yeah. Anyhow, this is what I mean by this looks difficult, but in reality, it's not. Or what do you think? Do you think this is just difficult from the look only?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee if I tried it, I would probably win a lot.
I saw a lot of the YouTubers rage horribly at this moment. Like it was bad from their perspective.
At least it didn't master mode.
True. Although one guy did break his controller, and that stream was so funny. And he posted a picture of his controller, and the left stick was just broken off.
Oh damn!
I'm thinking to myself, look, I've gotten mad at games before, but never that badly.
So you never thrown your controller?
No. Why the fuck would I do that? Controllers are expensive as hell.
Sometimes you get mad, you lose yourself.
David, you're a man. You should have better control of your emotions than that. Okay, unless you have something clinically wrong, you should be fine.
Well, I'm not. Oh, you missed. There's no way you somehow able to make this.
Whee! Made it.
And well, maybe not by me, but what do you consider people? What do you consider people who have to take therapy clinically ill?
If you go to seek therapy, that's whatever. But if you're mandated by a court, then yes. Look, if you're going to seek therapy because you want to fix yourself, that's fine. I don't really care. That's not illness. That's just preventative measurements. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but if it does get to a point where you literally have to be restrained, then yeah, you're ill. Anyhow, behold, this is Giganto.
Really? How do you know?
Because she talks about giants and stuff. This is the pilot who piloted Giganto. And then one of them is Wyvern, then one of them is Knight, one of them is Supreme.
Okay. And here's the trial, I'm guessing.
Yep. A trial that is not difficult on hard mode because you're allowed to get hit, but on extreme, this took me a few tries.
So you just gotta fight them, that's all?
Yeah, you just gotta fight within the time limit. But the thing is, I think the mistake here is that on hard mode, they give you way too much time. Like, way too much. The key to this one is just to parry, because all of your attacks do minimal damage, but parrying and air attacks do more damage than they should in this mode.
Hey! Parry! Oh no.
But the thing is, the reason I actually like Frontiers is parry is because you don't have to time it. I don't know what it is, but timing parries to me is just not fun anymore. If it's a one-time feature, like in Black Knight, okay, that's fine. But when half your game is just parrying and dodge rolling, it's not fun. Now...
So getting not quite a big on Dark Souls.
Well, here's the thing, right? Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 I actually really liked. But... like, after those, I think people forgot that you had to make your game difficult but also fun. I'm down for a difficult game, but if your game isn't fun, that's an issue. Like, Dark Souls is hard, and yes, it is a parry, spam, and dodge roll simulator, but at least the combat encounters are well made, they're well balanced, and they're fun. That is probably my biggest issue with, say, the Elden Ring DLC, because I don't think it's fun. Okay, like, AI Limit is a game that I've been playing. It's Chinese Duskborn, effectively, and it's fun, but...
What are you playing? What you said you're playing?
AI Limit. You play as this robot, and you fight monsters.
AI Limit?
Yes. It's pretty good.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, it's made by a Chinese team.
I might check this one out.
It's pretty fun. However, like I said before, part of the issue is that some of the enemies I don't think are as well designed as they should be. Who the hell subscribed to this channel besides me?
I have no idea. Don't look at me. I haven't.
Bro. Crazy.
It's literally just an arc. No fanboy. I have to subscribe to an archive channel. No offense.
Huh?
I'm saying no offense, but why would I subscribe to an archive channel, which is kind of what this is?
No, you don't need to. I wasn't taking offense to it. I'm just confused as who did it.
Don't know.
Yep. We now go on to the next tower, and this is the tower that I must admit, I was having so much issues with it that I had to look up a guide. The first time I did it. Now I can do this in my sleep, but the first time, this was a hard trial. Albeit, part of me thinks that the reason it was hard is because you literally had the smallest of time windows and you couldn't get hit.
I see.
Yep. Also, this is the second hardest tower.
What did he tower do again?
They allow Sonic... This is a training arc. Sonic is basically mastering the cyber corruption so that he can become Cyber Sonic. But prior to becoming Cyber Sonic, he also needs to go further beyond from Super Sonic and unlock Super Sonic 2.
I still can't believe they call it that, and it does blue eyes.
Yes, that's the only change. Visually, it's the same thing.
At least with Dragon Ball Super Saiyan 2, look at Gohan, that's a clear difference.
Well, during the Cell arc, it was a clear difference, but during Majin Buu arc, not really.
The only way you can tell is because there was electricity.
And even then, sometimes they forgot to draw the electricity in the anime, which leads to people being confused, and they had to read the guidebooks to even understand what was going on. For example,
even Toriyama himself forgot. He's not Super Saiyan 3, but Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, it's why, even though there's no lightning in, say, Dragon Ball GT, when Goku fought General Rildo, he was Super Saiyan 2, because his power went up by 100, not by 50. But then again, you don't watch GT, so I don't think you know what I'm talking about.
No,
okay.
no I don't. I thought came to the fact that General Rildo is actually stronger than Boo. Can't believe that.
Well, I mean, isn't that the nature of that series, though? That the next guy is always stronger?
But why? Oh, I thought that was why they made Goku young, so he didn't have to play stronger as strong as Boo.
No, Goku was as strong as he was. He just couldn't hold the power level. So if he actually transformed in Dragon Ball GT, he was at the power level where he was fighting Boo. However, he couldn't maintain it because of his smaller body, so it added a time limit to fights rather than weakening Goku himself.
I see.
Yeah. Although I think the English dub does make the mistake of saying it just weakens him. So that makes sense. Oh, when we do Stellar Blade, even though the game is Korean, I'm putting the game in Japanese. The only reason I'm not...
Wait, we're doing Stellar Blade?
At one point, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Wait, you never mentioned it until now.
Oh. My bad. Oh, by the way, we're also gonna do Final Fantasy as well as Sonic Unleashed at some point.
Those I'm aware of. Those I know.
Yeah. Final Fantasy, just for the audience, we're only doing Disc 1 because if we did the entire saga, we would be recording that game until we were fucking 30 years old. And that is not hyperbole.
Yeah, the game is big, people. It is freaking huge.
Yeah. It was so big back in the day that they had to put it on 3 CDs during the PlayStation 1. Can you believe that shit? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Especially nowadays, we can fit 300 gigabytes into one... No, 500 gig... What? Was Black Ops 6 300 or 500 gigs?
It was 600 gigs.
600, yeah. We can fit 600 into one disc now.
Yeah. Okay, the main game, Black Ops 6, was 300 gigs, but the actual menu was another 300 gigs.
So it's like 900.
No. The game... No, it's 600 in total. The game is 300, and the menu is 300 gigs. Why the menu is 300 gigs, I have no idea. Bad design. That's the only answer I can give you. Anyhow, now we go through the hardest trial. The key to beating this is by timing your parry, which sounds difficult, but because this isn't the extreme mode parry, it's actually a joke. You see this?
Wow.
And the idea behind these challenges is to train you, the player, on how to properly use the parry. But the problem that these challenges do is that they don't teach you how to time it, because never in the game do you need to time the parry. However, to unlock Supersonic 2's special power, the perfect parry, the ability to reflect any and all damage no matter the kind, Sonic can only do it for 1/15th of a second. So he can't hold it, so that one you have to time. And yes, that is the big bad power-up that Supersonic 2 is. It's not a power boost, it's not a speed boost, it just allows him to block all forms of damage for 1/15th of a second.
You know, I would prefer if that could be done automatically, not just a parry you have to do.
Oh shit. And rip the run. If this was on extreme mode, I'd have to do that whole thing again.
Right.
I'm so glad I did this on hard mode. You have no idea.
Which if it did on extreme, it would already be like maybe 2
Good.
episodes left.
If this was on extreme, it
We
would be
have-
on Wyvern.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of which, I think I'm hearing. Is it pronounced Wyvern or Wyvern?
Depends on your country. That's it. Depends on which English
oh
you're
my-
speaking. So if you're speaking American English, Wyvern. If you're speaking British English, Wyvern.
Ooh, says Wyvern. That makes no sense. It's so dumb.
British people say Wyvern.
But they're wrong.
Well, it's because we have something called an American accent, David. That's why. People with British accents think that we say Wyvern wrong.
Oh God.
Okay? It's like saying taco when you're speaking English instead of tacos when you're talking in Spanish. It's like
No
you're
one
not
ever.
wrong.
No one I've ever heard of say
We're
says
fucking
tacos.
Hispanic, David. We hang around
I
mostly
know-
Hispanic people.
I know white people who just say tacos.
Okay, they probably hang around Hispanic people then.
They're on Amazon.
Okay.
Why do they say that? Of course, Hispanic people work at Amazon.
Of course Hispanics work. Yeah, you're proving my point. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah, you've proven my point again. But yeah, if somebody says, like, let's say we're going to get Chinese food and someone says they want dim sum, no one fucking knows what that means. Just say dumpling.
Wait, they're the same thing?
Pretty much.
I thought dim sum was something else. I didn't know it was a dumpling.
No, they're the same thing. It's like how in Japanese the word is gyoza. Just say dumpling. That's what it means.
I see.
Now, if we're going to Japan and we're gonna go there, we're gonna order in Japanese, then we're gonna say gyoza because when in Rome, do as the Romans.
I can't even speak Japanese. How would I order?
I'm saying it as a hypothetical. Okay.
Okay.
Anyhow, now we're going on to the third tower, and honestly, this has to be the most brain-dead tower they've ever made. It's so easy, there's no challenge whatsoever. And while I did enjoy my climb up the tower, the actual trial is an absolute travesty. It's just parry, 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 attack, attack, attack. But you don't have the time to parry, so it's not a good training.
Isn't that literally what everything has been?
Well, yeah, but this one, it's brain dead. At least with the other one, you had to get creative. Okay, this one is literally just brain dead, which is gonna be embarrassing because I think I get hit on accident during the playthrough. But even I was in shock when I got hit, because when I was playing, I was like, I never get hit here, what the hell happened to me? But then again, Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and that happened in this playthrough.
That was a good TV show from Disney.
I was talking about the actual law, but yes, Milo Murphy's Law
I know.
was also good.
Yeah, no, I'm making a joke.
Uh-oh. My bad, I didn't realize you were making a joke. Yeah, it's a shame that it was overshadowed by Phineas and Ferb, though.
Which is coming back soon.
Well, good. Well, I mean, good for the new people, because I'm probably not gonna watch it. I saw every episode as a kid, but honestly I have no intention of ever going back. I mean, maybe if it's good, maybe I'll catch an episode or something, but I don't think so.
Is it even on cable or only Disney Plus?
I don't know. Why would I know? I don't follow their stuff. Okay, it's like when I told someone, yeah, you can watch Shura online on Adult Swim, and they said, what the hell's Adult Swim? And I realized, oh shit. Yeah, cable's been gone for a while, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, you don't know what that is. It's like when I said, hey, you know what AOL is, and you didn't know.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. It's fine. Okay, I'll just fax you the information later. I remember I had someone ask me, what's a fax machine? Like a couple of, a young guy talking about old tech with young people, it's funny. It really is.
They don't even use that fax machine anymore?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people still use it. It's just that probably our generation's gonna phase it out. Because email is just simpler.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there are still people that use it, so it's gonna be grandfathered in until enough of the previous generation retires or dies. It's kind of like landlines. They still exist, but very, very few people have them.
I guess so, yeah.
Anyhow, the next fight is against... Let me hear. What does this guy say? I was once the apprentice of a great hero that was involved. This is Knight. So...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is Knight, which means that this person is Because if it isn't obvious, the 4 Titans are reflections of the main heroes. Giganto
Okay.
is Giganto's Amy, Wyvern is Knuckles, Knight is Tails, and Supreme is Sonic. And the guy who designed the machines, Master King, was reflect Eggman. Or, by the way, he's not called Master King in Japanese, he's called King of Instructors. Which, I mean, neither name is really that good. They're both pretentious as hell. Or do you have a preference for one?
Not really. Either or. I'll go with either or calling them.
Yeah. It's stuff like that where I say to myself, okay guys, you couldn't have come up with a better name. Master King? Come on. Japan, you're also guilty. Kyokan no. Yeah, okay, dude. King of Instructors. Also, get over yourself. Anyhow, you see what I mean by this fight? That this trial is completely brain dead?
Yeah.
Bim bam. Omigoto. Well done. Kyum. And that's the trial. Man, I remember the day this update came out and people were complaining about how hard this trial was. And they were saying
Really?
stupid things like, "Oh, this is like Elden Ring." And don't get me wrong,
Okay.
I also said stupid things like, but
Okay, that doesn't look as hard as Elden Ring.
it's not. It's absolutely not. It's just something people said. Yeah. And here's where our Tails counterpart is saying, the only thing I'm sad is that I won't be able to actually watch you fight the end. Because they aren't actually alive here. These are the recordings of the 4 pilots who died.
I know.
Good. Very good. And now we have the fight against I believe it's the ninja, or yeah, I think it's ninja. And this is the pilot that is reflective of our boy Sonic. Yeah, Tails really made that labyrinth look really small because he could fly, but no, it's a pretty big area. That is just
I
the
understand how
thing.
it.
It's so freaking big island, but Sonic is just so fast that it doesn't feel big, right?
Right.
Yep. Anyways, the 4th tower.
Let's do this.
Hip hip hooray!
Onward to victory.
And for everything else, exactly. Oh, did I not have enough Coco Really? I didn't have enough? No shot. There's no shot. I don't have the tower unlocked. What is this trash?
Oh.
Wait, I thought I edited this out.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yep, also this game looks so good. It looks so good. And now we go make crazy jumps. I love the spin dash in this game. It's so cool. You agree with me?
Agreed, yeah.
Yep. It allows you to make some crazy jumps. That's why I did New Game Plus for this playthrough, because doing it normally, you lose access to so many techniques early on, so it would be impossible to show off a lot of the cool things you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't actually get the spin dash until Oranos Island in the base game. So could you imagine 4 islands of no spin dash?
Like, how? I don't know how to go through that. All that.
It would just take so long.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because when this game came out, the spin dash wasn't in the game. That's update 2.
That cannot be well off for all kinds of reasons.
What do you mean?
Having to go through the game without the spin dash. That's just, how do you say about that?
Well, I mean, when I did the game the first time with no spin dash, I had a good time, but I just think the spin dash makes it better.
I guess that depends.
True. And now we go to the 4th tower. Behold, the second to last trial of Frontier.
Activating on.
You know, realistically,
Connect.
these are Ubisoft towers, but they're a lot cooler than, I would say, actual Ubisoft towers.
What are you Ubisoft, like the company Ubisoft, or different Ubisoft?
Yeah, the company, Ubisoft Towers.
How do
Because
Ubisoft had kind of...
in every Ubisoft game, you have to climb towers now. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I thought talking about like the architectural design of these towers.
No, I'm just saying that in Ubisoft games, you just have to climb towers, and honestly, it's annoying. But at least with Sonic, it's
true.
cool because you go fast.
But in fairness, in some of the games that make sense, like Assassin's Creed, of course you will climb towers there.
Well, yeah, but it gets to a point where you're climbing so many. Now, don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Stellar Blade have this issue as well, but there are nowhere near as many towers. It's very few. Now, actually, Breath of the Wild also has this issue with towers, but they're nowhere near as tall.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Yeah, they're not as bad.
And at least you have some abilities.
Well, I
to
mean,
get to them.
you have abilities in this game and a lot of Ubisoft games as well. It's just not as cool. It's like how Halo Infinite also did it too, where they had Covenant posts. They were basically Ubisoft towers, but instead of towers, they were just military bases. Allowing for quick fast travel and stuff. And honestly, this is probably the last time I'd be cool with towers in these games. Don't get me wrong, I think this is some of the best level design we've ever gotten in Sonic the franchise. I just wish it wasn't a freaking tower. You know?
I get what you mean.
Because this platforming is good. This is good level design. But why does it have to be vertical?
I don't know.
I think horizontally, this would have been phenomenal level design. Phew. I mean, what do you think of the level design of these towers? Based on what you've seen so far?
I mean, I can still see how people can be frustrated by them, but I don't think it makes sense for them to be like this big. And not all of them are that bad. Like this one seems pretty simple.
This is the one that the streamers had the most problem with.
What do I know? I haven't played this, so maybe I'm wrong.
I think that the second tower is harder, but the streamers think it's this one.
Like, I don't know how much of a problem with just having to leap between stuff to get to next bases. That was something that's something I remember doing a lot before, and I would have a problem with it. Here, but you're kind of screwed up.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is Sonic. You're able to catch yourself. If this was any other platformer, you would go all the way back to the bottom. And that's the thing people don't realize, is that in Sonic, Sonic is so acrobatic, he can save himself from a fall. So people were saying that this tower should have had checkpoints. The checkpoints are your own skill level. If you know how to save yourself from falls, mistakes don't take you all the way back to the bottom. But for some reason, the streamers couldn't handle the fact that you actually had to save yourself and thought that if you fell, you just go all the way to the bottom. When in reality, this game gives you so many options to save yourself that it doesn't need the checkpoints. Now, in future games, I'm well aware that they're probably going to automate parts of this. They're probably going to put checkpoints everywhere because the streamers and the journalists would hate this kind of stuff. But that's once again another case of, I think, that the casuals have done some damage to single-player games. The hardcores did damage to all the multiplayer games, though, so neither side is really innocent. They're just in different camps here. Anyhow, here's the representative of Sonic. This is Supreme.
Wait, Sonic Supreme represents Sonic.
Well, it's his counterpart. This guy was basically the hero of the Ancients.
The leader.
No, the leader is Master King.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the guy that everyone looks up to. He's like, I'm the hero. He's kind of like Snow from other stuff. You don't know who that is. And here it is.
Okay.
Ninja.
Is it just a 1v1?
It's a 1v1, but the thing is, how many of these guys have I fought at this point? This is not difficult anymore.
For me, if I were to do that, it probably would be for me. Ninja's still hard for me.
Okay, did you see how fast I disposed of him, though?
Yeah.
Shobu,
Why do you... Oh, I thought you would start with some reason.
Huh?
No, I thought you had to be started for some reason.
No, he's been defeated. Alright. So, for the rest of this, we just go through Amy, finishing up Amy, so doing the cleanup for her. And then in the next episode, the final episode, we just do a cutscene cleanup. And then we fight Master King. Cool, right?
Right.
Yep, but I didn't live up to their expectations. Now my question is, who was freed? Because this guy talks like, "Hey, you freed my dear friend from the Titan." Who the hell is he talking about?
I have no idea.
But now the fourth pilot has given Sonic the ability to access Supersonic 2. However, Sonic doesn't know how to use it, so we need to go to the Instructor King in order to unlock the power for him.
Instructor King.
Like King of Instructor, exactly.
I sound like a name for a Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
Person who can change that energy into new power. I accidentally put an H there. There shouldn't be one there.
They're coming.
Yep. One thing I like is that there's a lot more urgency in the Japanese text. In the English text, they're kind of just really mean to the end. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still mean to the end in English, but there's a sense of we need to move now that doesn't exist too strongly in the English version. And I say too strongly because it does exist, it's just not as emphasized. And now we have to see Amy, Knuckles, and Tails talk for a bit, but in reality, we're just doing cleanup. This game has a lot of cleanup in the quote-unquote extra story. Okay, I get that they wanted to add extra information for the game, but it's... Okay, a line like that, because I won't forgive you, is something you wouldn't say in English. So, like I said again, I like the concept of a localizer. For example, in a game that we both like, Neptunia, Blonde doesn't swear in Japanese, but she's very rude. But to get the same point across, you would use swear words in English. That makes sense to me. But when your localization changes the entire meaning of a scene, we have problems. Okay? It's one thing to have a character say, instead of, "I will kill you," they say, "I will eliminate you," whatever. But when it gets to the point where we rewrite entire motivations, that's when we have a problem. Like,
agreed. Also, did Amy just teleport?
Yeah, Amy can teleport.
Wow.
I feel like you don't know what Amy's powers are.
Well, they even know who does it. It's a hammer.
You know she can eat ghosts, right? That's a thing from the classic era.
But no, I did not know that.
Yeah, Amy has cool powers. She's also the only Sonic character who canonically uses a car to get around.
Okay, the car I know because of Sonic Racing.
Yeah.
But I also know, I don't know about it with a hammer, and that in no Stitch you can turn invisible.
Okay. Yeah. Very slept-on Sonic character, Amy Rose. Another character that I think could carry her own game. Especially after the outing in Heroes. Sonic Heroes Amy is such a good character, you could carry your own game with that character alone. You would just need to fix the handling, and you could make a god-tier Sonic game that doesn't feature Sonic in it. So that's 3 characters that I think could carry a Sonic game by themselves. Who else do you pick? That's I have Shadow, Tails, and Amy for my picks.
Yeah, I would choose those two. Knuckles can still work as well. Like maybe some time with him during the Echidna tribe.
I don't think Knuckles actually met the Echidna tribe.
But wait, if he didn't, where did he come from?
He was born, and then his family just died when he was young. So he didn't really interact with the tribe. He interacted with at most 2 Echidnas.
I see. Never mind then. I still think a Knuckle game could work somehow. I'm not sure how though.
I agree that he has the design to do it, but I don't know about the character, because the character writing would also have to matter, unless we're doing a purely gameplay experience, in which case, yeah, that's good. Oh, by the way, X-Dive is finished, although the X-Dive playthrough will have a sour note at the end, because the first half of that game is really good, but the second half is not. It's so bad.
Anyway,
did you like X-Dive?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Anyway, I was saying, a Sonic character I think could carry the whole game without Sonic, both gameplay and character-wise.
Blaze.
I think you already know who. No, but you could work.
Oh, you're saying Silver?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Silver could carry his own game, gameplay-wise. I agree with you. Writing-wise, I think so too. But I wonder which Silver, because Pontaff Silver definitely could not carry his own game. However, like Archie Silver could do it. 06 Silver can carry his own game.
I'm talking IGN Silver.
IGN?
The new Sonic comic from IGN.
Ian Flynn.
Yeah, but the company, yeah, Ian Flynn does them, but the people
The
who
company's
produce them,
IDW.
IDW. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
Shut up. I realized they're wrong. But yeah, IDW Silver could be its own game.
True. Well, yeah, IDW Silver is just whatever the modern cast is, because IDW is the game cast now.
Yeah.
Albeit they,
And there's-
I still can't defend IDW Sonic though. That guy's an asshole.
In what way?
Okay, please read the the entire Search the Tenrex section of the story.
Oh
That-
god.
that is asshole behavior. There's no
come on.
defending that. There is absolutely no defending that storyline. As cool as the moments in the actual comic were, there was some really cool action, okay? The actual story is fine, but the way they write Sonic is horrid, okay?
I'm going to reread that
Okay,
thing just to make
like, it's
sure.
almost as bad as them making Neptune a sadist in Rebirth 3. It's almost that bad.
Okay, I'm great at Omo because nothing can be as bad as that kind of character assassination.
Yeah, Neptune telling Furia, yeah, go ahead, rape my sister's friends, I'll let you. That was fucked. That was actually terrible. You can never beat that character rating. Yeah, but by the way, audience members, those of you who don't watch my Neptunia series, that's not a joke. That's how bad they ruined the main character in the third game.
Yeah, sadly, yes, it's true.
Yeah. Anyhow, Eggman and Amy are now talking about some cool technology. Man, I wish we got more mini-games in this game. The puzzles were cool, but I like what they do in other games like this, where they just put random mini-games you can do in the middle of the game. Don't get me wrong, I love the platforming, I love the level design, it's cool. I like the combat in this game, it's a bit too easy, but it's fun.
You're saying you're okay with Galaga and Pachinko and just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
The Galaga, it makes sense because then you're doing, at first you're doing it on a computer, so that makes sense.
I'll admit, it felt weird, but when you just embrace the fact that you're playing a video game, it's fun. Okay, because the primary goal, I think, for video games is to be fun, right?
Yes.
And I think that pinball is fun. I think that Galaga is fun. So yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay, by that logic, what if you were playing Call of Duty, you were in the middle, no, not Call of Duty, you were playing a new Halo game. You're in the middle of a shooting fight intensity, and then suddenly in the middle of it, you have to play a civilization simulator.
I mean, to be fair, it would be out of place. But here's the difference, though. A civilization simulator is a multiple hour-long endeavor. I'm talking about a brief snippet. It's like let's for example, in Grand Theft Auto 5, it's a game where you know what Grand Theft Auto 5 is, I'm assuming. In one of the missions, however, you have to do a little hacking mini game to make people hit red lights. It's a very short snippet, and I just think that's fun. It doesn't fit at all with the gameplay style, but it's a very short moment that is pretty fun, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, well, what if, like you said,
It's like how...
Let me do a better example. What if in Halo you suddenly had to do like one of those dumb phone ad game? We had to move keys or whatever to get people's safety. You know, those dumb ads that are never real.
I'm lost. Can you please repeat yourself? I think you cut off.
Okay, have you ever seen like phone game ads for like some game that never exists? Like,
oh yeah,
you have to move things a certain way in order to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you have to do that in the middle of Halo?
If it's like a 10-second section, I wouldn't care. It would feel odd, but I wouldn't care. If we're talking about making it an entire level, like a full-on hour-long level, yeah, that would be a shit design. Okay, let's put it this way. In Sonic 06, one of the side quests is walking a dog. It's 20 seconds, dude. And it's a completely optional side quest. I really don't care that it's there. It teaches you about how to walk instead of run by having you control the amount of distance you move the stick. So it teaches you about a game mechanic in a way that's very mundane. I get that. It's a low-stress environment. Now, would I want an entire level like that? Not really. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's like if let's say that the one island, like an entire island, was just the computer minigame, that would be shit. Okay? If it's like a snippet, who cares? It's fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I'd be down. Like if they did what they do in the Yakuza games, like a really funny thing is that you could play Sonic 1 in the arcades.
Oh yeah, and also in on Charter you can play the Sonic, not Sonic, Crash.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that is cool to me. Now, here's where we learned about the famous rock stacking game. Which, I mean, it's stuff like this. Like, okay, I get it. It's for the lore junkies and whatever. But that could have been a data log that we found fishing or something. I don't think that needed to be a whole cutscene.
I guess, maybe.
Also, I want to point out that Frontiers, one of the biggest issues with Frontiers is the lack of cinematography. So many of the cutscenes is just the characters standing, and the camera is completely still, and there's no dynamic changes in angle. There are some cutscenes where they actually try, don't get me wrong, but the majority of cutscenes in the game is just two characters standing talking.
That is true, yeah.
Like in 06, yeah, there's scenes where the characters are standing talking, but there's stage directions, the characters are moving around, there's the way the camera focuses on them to create a more dynamic scene. Same thing happens with Adventure 1, despite the fact that that game's presentation is so old it looks horrid. And Adventure 2 does the same thing as well. But there's something about Frontiers. Like, oh my god, look at the pop-in on those rings!
Dear God.
The Hedgehog engine? How dare you?
It just flicker, 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 flicker.
That means that they're close enough to render, but far enough away that they despawn. That pop-in, am I right, guys?
Right.
I get that it's a Hedgehog Engine 2 thing. So for the love of God, can we either get a new engine or at the very least Hedgehog Engine 3? Because Hedgehog Engine 2 is so outdated. It came out in 2017. It's been 8 years, guys.
Yeah, I think it's time for an upgrade, people.
Yeah, an upgrade would be very nice. Okay, Hedgehog Engine 1 came out in 08. That's crazy, don't you think? Yeah, that's very crazy.
Yeah.
Are their mouths not moving again? Ah, the glitches, am I right? But at the very least, it's not as bad as the 1.3 update where sometimes the line wouldn't load properly and you would just get silence.
Huh.
Okay, a fix like that, I support. But what is the point of updating the game just so you move the files for the DLC directory and subsequently break all the mods? That never made sense to me. What's the point of that?
I'm getting you all to say. I'm getting that. I mean, oh my God, my tongue. If they updated 06 to fix that one line misread, that'll be okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, how could they keep that in the line in the game in the first place?
Do you realize how rushed they were?
I get there. I know there are rushed. That what to. I not even edit that properly.
You gotta realize that the day 06 was sent to shelves, like, they were still fixing the game.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's put it this way. The reason Sonic's meter doesn't work in 06, and I'm not kidding, by the way, you can check, his meter doesn't work, is because they put a semicolon instead of a colon in the line of text for the code.
That I actually understand. That happened to me once. Multiple times.
Anyhow, gentlemen, that's the end of this episode. Have a nice day.